It's on top of the fridge. To the left. On top. No, to the left. Oh my God. I am so sorry. Thank you for joining us today on this exploration of the new world. But really, it's our world. We have an experience lined up for you today. It's really a treat. You're going to get a full play-by-play of what really happened at the country's first nuclear power plant. I can't wait for you to see it. The facility is still really in tip-top shape, and at the end we have these super spectacular comment cards that will really aid us in improving this experience for you. Can someone bring me the comment card? The comment card! Oh my God. So here we have it. Without further ado, hello? I think the spirit's with us already, actually. Hello? I think this is a really good place to start. This is area 1. This is where irradiated materials come to be discarded of, and not just from the Santa Susana Field Laboratory, but also from all over the country. This is a nuclear reactor. This one, and this one, and these are actually the 3 that had no containers. And it was actually in area 1 that scientists, famous scientists, Pugh and Heine, were getting rid of some of that irradiated material, and they put it in this barrel. They used to do this when there was this excess material, when there was this spillage. They put that material into a barrel and they'd shoot it with a rifle, and that smoke would go into the air. And during one of those cleanups, these 2 scientists blew up and died. And everyone in the building at the facility looked down and their shirts had been disintegrated. And it's rumored that if you're in this area for too long, you too will look down and your shirt will be disintegrated. Hello? Hello? This is actually, I'm really glad that we came across this, because this is actually a relic from Dr. Palmer and his family. Dr. Palmer was the head research developer at the Santa Susana Field Laboratories. He was one of 27 men that were working in Area 2 at the facility, and 22 of those 27 men died of cancer. Dr. Palmer would often say how he would come home from work every night and kiss his wife, and her lips would burn from all of the chemicals that were on his body. So this is actually quite interesting, because this is Dr. Palmer and that is his wife, and I'm not really sure who they are, but it's incredible that we have this jewel here, because it's said that he haunts this area as well. In fact, I don't think this was here before. So let's go to the sodium burn pit. So the process I was describing downstairs, there's a process of chopping up and displacing irradiated material, but then there's a process of simply burning that nuclear waste in a barrel and then shooting it with a gun, and that smoke going into the air. So this is where it would happen. I guess they've sealed up the barrels. So here we go into the cave paintings now. It said that Native American women drew these cave paintings from their dreams, from visions they saw in their dreams, and it is such a shame because the U.S. public cannot come to these caves because it's on privately owned land, previously Rocketdyne and now the Boeing company. So although this laboratory isn't in use anymore, it is still privately owned land. So these caves are not accessible to the public, except you are now seeing it through my tour. So here we go. This is a vision of some stick figure animals with 4 fingers. Now, again, these are all presumably visions from these women's dreams. So some of the images are a little unclear, but it's amazing how well preserved it is. I mean, look at the detail. It's incredible. 4 fingers, though. Each animal had 4 fingers. If we just move past here a bit. Yeah, here we go. So you can see some stick figures with headdresses and like long sort of spirals coming out of their heads. Maybe a metaphor for something? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but so that is actually the only human figure portrayed in this cave painting. And then these are just like an assemblage of like circles with triangles within the circles. And then over here, now this is a part that we don't often bother to look at, but these are corn stalks. These are corn stalks. Paintings are, you know, what we think is corn stalks, some sort of vegetation of a long, slender nature. So I'm going to do what the dead can no longer do, which is they can no longer use their bodies. I have full use of my body, although my mind and my heart are with the dead. My body is here on Earth, so I'm going to do what they can no longer do. But it's rumored that when this facility was young and people weren't sure about the environmental and ethical complications that came with creating nuclear power, they would swim in the ponds and fish in the ponds on the grounds of the facility because, you know, as you see, this facility is on this vast, beautiful green land. Oh my God. So anyway, this is one of the ponds that the 27 men and the 22 who died out of those 27 men of cancer complications would go fishing during their breaks, and they used to pour in like a sodium chloride solution into the pond to equalize it so that they could fish and they could swim, which I'm going to attempt to do myself to get closer to those spirits. So they would do this, but then eventually they could no longer keep doing that because even as they poured that sodium chloride solution, the water would be bubbling. They would just walk by these ponds and the water would be bubbling from just how absolutely toxic that water was. And that water still is. That water is still water that we have in LA and we have in Santa Clarita and San Fernando Valley. All of that water is sourced from this area. So it's very important that we see this bubbling pond and that I get into this bubbling pond. I can, yeah. It's those spirits that I communicate with and that hold my heart and my soul that cannot come out. But I see them right through there. Dr. Palmer, the 27 men, Tiny and Pew, every last one of them. Don't get too close to the water. A lost soul, symbolic. If they have to be stuck in this facility for the rest of time, at least we can make it look presentable. Somebody looks like a bear came through this laboratory and broke all the beakers and spilled all the solutions. Oh. 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 Oh.